Hello everyone and welcome back to tomorrow's weather today. This is my second video today and this will be, I will not be making a third video. I said earlier I would be making two videos. One on Tropical Storm Bertha, which is now a 50, we'll go to that quickly, a 50-mile-an-hour storm that has made landfall in South Carolina. Um, if we look at the radar real quickly, um, you can see the center of circulation is like it's right over here, and this heavy rain is still being pumped on shore. Um, I It actually was a lot better organized than I thought it would be. It moved pretty quickly on shore, and once it did, it's going to start weakening now and move northward into North Carolina and then up into Pennsylvania. But moving on from that, we do have an enhanced risk for severe storms today. In the Central Texas, marginal risk for Alabama, pretty much all of Alabama, the western part of Georgia, um, eastern Mississippi, and New Orleans area of Louisiana, and a little bit of North and South Carolina due to our Bertha making landfall with the chance of tornadoes and damaging winds. And up here in Maine, we do have a hail and wind threat but the best chance for tornadoes is Central Texas with a 5% chance, um, especially earlier in the afternoon today. 30% chance of wind, possibly seeing over 75 miles an hour wind gust, and hail. 30% chance with significant severe, possibly seeing over 2 inches in diameter. So looking to the HRRR model, we are going to start this off at 18Z, which is 1 p.m. I believe. Let me just make sure. I'm not great with um, the Zulu times. So 18Z um, Central Time is 12 p.m. My bad. So 12 p.m. Looking at no storms yet, but bringing this ahead to 19Z, we got some pop-up storms. These are probably going to be the more tornadic ones, especially these. Excuse me. Um, Especially these being discrete supercells. Moving in ahead to 20Z, more storms developing. Since there is no cap, they are going to develop quickly. Um, and by 2 p.m., we can see storms really getting their act together and becoming more of a cluster of storms. Moving ahead even a couple hours more, they begin to line out and keep diving eastward. Bringing it back to noon, um, we are going to go over to the surface-based cape, and we have plenty of cape here. Moving it ahead to 19Z. Yeah, there's plenty of cape. This hole right here is where that storm is, so let's take a sounding right out ahead of it. Where's 3,100 uh, joules per kilogram? LCL is at 1,000, not bad. 1 kilometer. LFC is right above that, not bad either. A lot of cape, as we can see right here. And we have a few dry layers, which is going to help with those winds. Downdraft cape is 794. Um, and photographs aren't looking fantastic, especially in the 0 to 1 kilometer shear um, area. Moving this ahead, looking pretty much the same, and you can see where those storms are. And let's go to the dew point now. Um, so right now we have 70-degree dew points, or in a few hours we'll have 60s to some 70s, and that's going to stay basically for the entire day. Moisture is going to be a little bit of a problem today, I feel like. Um, and it looks like there might be an outflow boundary somewhere in here. We'll see that outflow boundary on the NAM. Going up to 700 millibars. There's a little bit of a jet streak. Let's take this right here. I don't think there's actually a storm. So the sounding isn't great. But you can see we have 700 millibar winds, 850. They are pretty light, around 10 knots, which is extremely light. and then going up to 500 millibars, anywhere from 40 to 50 knots of wind. You can see our upper level low right here. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see one or two strong tornadoes at most today. Looking at the NAM on Tropical Tidbits, and then we will go over to the RAP model on the SPC page. Here's our upper level low. You can see it in the thermo gradient. Moving it ahead, this is our 12Z run because I think that's the only one. Yeah, it's the latest run we have. We get our storm right here, and become more clusters. So the NAM is picking up on the same thing that the HRRR is of these two areas of storms, and then becoming a line. And I just want to take a quick look at the 10-meter winds because this is going to show what I was talking about in outflow boundary. Here's our storms are right in here. Here's our outflow boundary right in here. Um, you can see the winds converging on that like that. But for the most part, we got southeasterly winds, and here's that outflow boundary right here. And there's actually another one right here, it looks like. Yeah, and you can see those spread out. Here's our outflow boundaries, right in there. Looking at 850 millibar winds, again, it's light, under 20 knots or so. Isn't fantastic. In the NAM, has a lot of cape. Let's just take a sounding real quickly. Not great shear in the first kilometer or the first three. Definitely better. A little bit of a cap is coming out. Downdrift cape is 835. Shear is pretty good unless there's a storm right here. Let me just make sure there isn't a storm right there. I think there were. So let's just take it out ahead, like down there, just so we don't get any interference. Yeah, still showing 63 knots of shear. So there are going to be higher places of shear, just not fantastic. There's that upper level low. Alright, so let's go over to the mesoscale analysis and check out the RAP. So moving this ahead, the RAP in about 4 hours is calling for 2 areas of storms, like we've been seeing, and then more of a cluster of storms 6 hours out. There's already a lot of cape, some capping back here when indicated in the blue color, um, but everywhere else it's uncapped. All this is uncapped down here with extremely high cape values. Yeah, that's looking good. Supercell composite already in the 4 range, higher belt of 8, and then a 20 right ahead of those storms. So I wouldn't be surprised if that cluster does bring out a tornado or two. Right now there is a little bit of significant tornado perimeter. Here's that higher belt of 500 millibars, and we can bring that ahead, which is going to be right on top of those storms. If we look at the surface obs, 80 over 70, low 80s, high 70s right now. You can see definitely two. This might be a bad reading, this 64, because it's surrounded by 80s. There's a radar site, there's a radar site, there's a radar site, radar site, radar. Um, let's look. Is there anything else that I want to look at? Oh, wind shear. SRH 0 to 1 kilometer. Um, yeah, 50 at best, maybe 100 later in the day. Then we go to surface to 3. Can't really go out. But 200, not horrible. So, significant hail. Let's look at yeah, hail's gonna be a big threat for today. I feel like. I feel like that's gonna be the main threat. Maybe some 3 to 4 inch hails, isolated. Well, I can't rule out of the question, but definitely at least 2 inches hail, diameter hail is certainly possible. Um, and the LCL height About 1,000 for most places, not bad. Um, so yeah, that will be it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and tell me if you have ever been impacted by severe weather, whether it be damaging hail, uh, large hail damaging winds, or even a tornado, or if you have ever seen a tornado or any kind of uh, mesocyclone of any sorts. See you all tomorrow.